You have entered the black hole of real estate, and now that you're pulled into our vortex, even if you could escape, you're probably not going to want to leave. We're here to bring you news, tips, and industry strategies for real estate. I'm your host, Ron Wysakarski, and this is the black hole of real estate. Welcome back, everyone, and it is super exciting to let you know that we are starting episode 23, almost to the quarter century mark. We're ecstatic that we have gotten this far, and we love all the comments and feedback, and we're working every week to make it better and better for you. Starting off today, is time running out to get top dollar to sell your home? Is there a price drop ahead? And what effect are these elections going to have on home values and sales? Well, the first thing I want to talk about today is, people are asking me, is time running out to get top dollar on your home? Well, the one thing I know about this is that timing in real estate is the only thing that comes after location. And we've gone through a superheated summer. It's been a great run. And now we find kids are going back to school. And there's a little trepidation on the parts of parents trying to sort that piece out. The next thing I wonder about is the Labor Day weekend. We're relaxing. We're trying to enjoy whatever party we might be having this weekend, which is going to be different than the last time around last year. What does that mean to you? Well, pretty simply stated, buyers and sellers' attention is going to be on back to school, a lot of them. Maybe they already completed their purchase before the school year. Even if they weren't putting their kids into the school districts, they're positioning themselves maybe for, next year. The holidays are a time to relax, and that's a little funky right now because we don't even know how to relax anymore. So that enters into things. I believe that we're going to see a bit of a slowdown, not because people aren't interested in real estate. There's just other stuff going on right now. So if you are thinking of selling a home, I would think about this. Google search trends are at an all-time high for the last 16 years when it comes to selling homes. It's a big, big number. And when you think about that, what does that mean? Well, it means to you that all the eyeballs are looking to move. It's huge. So we have to think about, what does it mean to me as a seller? Did the buyers go away? No, they're just on a little pause right now. Now, another thing to look at, 47% of homeowners, when surveyed by the National Association of Realtors, said they're considering selling their home due to financial woes. Well, think about that. In a boom summer with crazy sales and homes going off the market in what feels like a minute, why are home owners thinking of selling due to financial woes? Well, let's dig a little bit deeper. If you happen to be on unemployment and getting an extra stimulus check and an additional unemployment, you've been able to make your payments all summer long. If that's ending and you're currently in a home without an income, that would be a reason to sell. Or maybe you're in a job where it's been good so far and PPP has helped keep everybody employed, but now we're coming into a different season. Is everybody going to stay employed? Could the job that you've had and held all these years, could that be going away? And with the homes prices, at or near the top of where they've been for the last 10, 15 years, for some sellers, it's probably a good time to take some risk out of it. Sell what they think is a high right now and then reposition themselves, whether it's to buy again or rent again. That we can't answer right now, but people are absolutely thinking of selling. I mean, it's out there. Almost half the people out there considering selling their homes. Now, if you think about the balance tilting in the area of supply and demand, which is always going to affect prices, right now, super low inventory, super low interest rates. Nothing has changed. That's been the message for months and months and months. Is there a tipping point in this equation? It's hard to say, but what I do know is there's this other piece of the market coming up. The investor portfolios, they've done pretty well over the last 10 years, but the big thing that I see is that these eviction bans, they're scheduled to run through the end of the year. And if you happen to have investment property and people decided to not pay you, maybe even if they had the money, if they're gaming the system, there's a big donut hole in that equation if you're an investor. How long can you continue to let people live in your house for nothing? And if the eviction ban goes to the end of the year, there's no way to get them out. I mean, you are stuck. And I'm not sure what's in place to help out the landlords in that situations. So we really have to think for them, what's that answer look like? Well, all of these things are pointing towards increased inventory somewhere down the road. But at the moment, There's absolutely a listing inventory shortage. So if you're thinking of selling a property, I can't tell you that inventory is going up or down, and the demand is absolutely there. But to recap, Google search trends says that we're at an all-time high for the last 16 years when it comes to selling properties. And almost half the people surveyed by NAR say they're considering selling their home due to financial woes. And there is a potential balance tilting opportunity for supply and demand. The moratorium on eviction bans, that's not coming anytime soon. Through the end of the year, I guess you don't have to pay your rent. I think most people are, but that eviction ban's in place. Some uncertainty out there. The one thing I know is inventory is super low. And if you're thinking of selling, there may not be a better time. What's contributing to these things? Well, especially for people looking for price drops, we're not seeing an indicator that prices are going to drop. Let's face it, COVID really, isn't the effect on the market we think it is. It caused people to pause, absolutely, for a moment. But home sales of 2020 are outpacing 2019. So I think COVID actually became a non-factor pretty early on. What we do know is that there was a greater awareness of homeowners of the space that they have. And those homeowners at really big McMansions found out that even in COVID times, they didn't use half the space. They're probably okay to sell that house and downsize. If they were ever going to use that space, it was probably during this time. If you were in a 3-bedroom home and you suddenly realized between homeschooling and working from home that you had an overcrowding situation in your home, yeah, you're looking to move up. And there's a lot of move-up buyers in this market looking for a den space or an extra bedroom or both. So that is also entering in the market. So that move-up buyer is still in play. And the low interest rates, they're not going anywhere, at least through the end of the year. I just saw this morning that rates were still below 3%. Who can imagine an interest rate on a continual basis in the 2s? Because I certainly didn't see it coming. But here we are, and it continues. So I don't think the price drop is coming because it's still low inventory. I think sellers are still well positioned. And if you're a buyer, I don't see that you're going to buy a home and the price floor drop out. But the lesson of the financial crisis in 2008, it comes forward today in the form of even when prices went from, let's say, from 200 to 100 or 300 to 150, over time, 5, 6, 7 years, those prices pretty much went back. Now, I know you're thinking, geez, it's painful to see that you lost all that money, but you really didn't. If you bought the home at 200 and you eventually sold it for about 200, maybe you broke even, but you had to have a place to live all that time. And it only matters, twice with regard to price when you buy a home, the day you buy it and the day you sell it. See, the fact is that the market came back, and when the average homeowner is staying in a home 7, 8, 9, 10 years, you probably can buy today and not have much concern that over the next 10 years, even if there is a dip in the market cycle is likely to bring you back and actually jump ahead. Historically, real estate continues to prove to be a better investment than the stock market, even though that's also at an all-time high right now. More portfolios were lost in the financial market, in stocks and in bonds, when people sold out too quickly. And it takes a little longer to sell real estate, so there's a little protection in there if you're following a real estate trend. So if you're a homeowner and you're looking to buy or upsize, do it with confidence. If you're thinking of selling and you want to take a little risk off the table, that's fine. What's your next investment strategy? Are you going into the real estate market to make a different investment? Are you moving into a financial market? Interest rates for savings isn't super high right now, so have a plan for that investment once you sell the property. The last thing I want to talk about is the elections. And for the love of God, please don't tell me that I'm waiting to see who is the next president before I make a financial decision or a real estate decision, because the fact is, it really doesn't matter. Home values aren't going up and down because of who gets elected. It's a financial decision that's being made. It's about space. It's about the right house at the right time. And even if the wrong president got elected, the one that you didn't want, if you need a house, you need a house. If you're going to move, you're absolutely going to move. People move in good times, bad times, favorable times, unexpected times. When you have to move, you have to move. And even though rates are 2%, I know that when rates were 18 and 20%, people still moved. So let's not worry about who the president is going to be with regard to making a real estate decision. But I will assure you that people are going to pause In October, there might be a slowness of the market. Maybe not a price drop, but just a slowness. There's a lot of people say, I want to wait to see until I know who got elected before I make my decision. Well, good luck with that. What you're going to find is you wasted a month worrying about something that really had nothing to do with the price of your home. That's what I got for you today. If you're thinking of selling, let's not worry about the elections. Let's worry about getting the right price for your home in the right amount of time and studying these indicators that are out there. We know that buyers are looking. It's an all-time high, and that's the number one thing for sellers to look at. So that's what I got for you today. It's Ron Wysokarski for the Black Hole of Real Estate.